tie ball game at 4-4. 0-1 pitch in there for a called strike 2. And the count goes no balls, 2 strikes, and no outs. So apologies for some technical difficulties. And we thank you for your continued support on this live stream. As Otino stands in at first. Zach Morgan at the plate. 0-2 pitch, foul down to the first base line. That will go out of play. And the count goes to no balls and 2 strikes. Tied 4-4 ball game. Miners 4 runs on 6 hits and 1 error. To the Pilots 4 runs on 8 hits and 1 error. So almost identical scores throughout the scoreboard. No balls, 2 strikes to Zach Morgan at the plate. As the 0-1 pitch is grounded over to short. This could be 2. The throw to second in time for 1. The throw to first in time for 2. So a 6-4-3 double play. We'll put 2 outs on the board for Evan Floyd pitching for the Miners. E.J. Andrews now stands in with 2 outs, as he's 2 for 3 on the ball game with 2 singles and a strikeout. Evan Floyd on the mound gets his sign, agrees with the first one, kicks and deals the first offering to Andrews, and that's a big swing and a miss for strike 1. So Floyd able to erase his leadoff walk with a 6-4-3 double play. As Floyd kicks and deals, swing and miss for strike 2. So big 2 swings and 2 big misses to put Andrews down the count 0-2. Floyd looking to get out of this inning very smoothly as the 0-2 pitch swung on and missed for strike 3. So 3 up, 3 down for the Pilots. As Floyd giving up a leadoff walk, able to erase it on a double play. No runs, no hits, no errors, and no runners left on. We head to the top of the 9th. We have a tied ball game at 4. New pitcher for the Pilots here in the top of the 9th inning. Anderson Needham. We'll see what he can do here in the top of the 9th of the tied ball game at 4-4. He'll face off Robbie Brew in the 7, 8, 9 hitters for the Miners in this 9th inning. As Needham, with 9 appearances and 20 1/3 of an inning, has a 6.64 ERA as the 1-0 pitch is grounded over there. Needham fields it, throws over to first as Baeza able to scoop it out of the dirt and make the play for out number 1. So 2 pitches, 1 out to lead things off here in the 9th inning. That will bring up Colin Montes to the plate. Montes 0 for 3 on the night. He flew out twice and popped up once as he stands in here in the 9th inning with nobody on and 1 out. Needham gets his sign and delivers the first offering that will miss way inside for ball 1, and the count moves to 1 ball and no strikes. Again, apologies for some technical difficulties that we had this previous inning. We are back up and running now. And we thank you for you guys continuing to watch as the 1-0 pitch is swung on and missed for strike 1, and the count evens up at 1-1. This broadcast is brought to you by Napa Auto Parts. If your car ever needs a nut, bolt, or screw, be sure to visit the Valley's locally owned and operated Napa Auto Parts as the 1-1 pitch misses for ball 2. They're located in Big Lake, Palmer, and Wasilla. Be sure to visit www.napaalaska.com for more information. Needham looks in. The 2-1 pitch on its way misses outside for ball 3, and Montes is able to work it to a hitter's count here in the top of the 9th inning. Both teams with combined 14 hits through 8 innings. As the 3-1 offering on its way swung on and missed for strike 2, as Montes was behind that one. Count goes full, 3 balls, 2 strikes, and 1 out here at Mulcahy Stadium. Both of these teams in the ABL separated by 1.5 games, as the 3-2 pitch is lined. Running over his center fielder, Dalen Clifton will slide and make the catch for out number 2. So 2 up, 2 down for the Miners, bringing up Caden Hogan to the plate. Hogan 0 for 3 on the night. And he's standing here with 2 outs in the top of the 9th inning. Anderson Needham looks in, kicks and deals the first offering to Hogan. Swung on and missed for strike 1. Hogan takes a long walk outside the batter's box, recollects himself, and re-enters. Down the count now, no balls and 1 strike. Needham ready with the 0-1. And that ball is in there for a called strike 2. Good off-speed pitch to keep Hogan looking and bringing him down the count now. No balls and 2 strikes. Top of the lineup for the Miners stands on deck. Colby Boulware is standing in and ready if it comes to him, as the 0-2 pitch will miss in the dirt for ball 1. One ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs here in the top of the 9th inning. As Caden Hogan looks to get a 2-out rally here to try to put the Miners on top going into the bottom half of the inning. As the 1-2 pitch on its way, swung on and missed for strike 3. So 3 up, 3 down for the Miners will send it to the bottom of the 9th inning. As no runs, no hits, and no errors with no runners left on, we head to the bottom of the 9th. We have a tied score at 4-4. And we're in the ninth, with Alex Baeza coming up to the plate to lead things off here in the bottom half of the inning. With a tied 4-4 ball game, Jacob McNary, the right-handed pitcher out of the University of Alabama, in to pitch for the Mat-Su Miners, as he has been the Miners' go-to man in the ninth inning. As McNary trying to work his way into putting the Miners in extra innings. As the first pitch is in there for a called strike. 1 no balls, 1 strike, and no outs to Baeza at the plate. As the 0-1 pitch is popped up to center, Eric Webb, barely having to move, will put his glove up and make the catch for out number 1. Which brings up Zach Segal, as he's 0 for 3 on the night as well, popping the ball up in every plate appearance with a pop-up to first in the second inning, flew out to center in the fourth, and flew out to center again in the sixth. He will stand in here with nobody on and 1 out. First pitch to him, swung on and fouled straight back into Robbie Brew's glove. Brew unable to make the catch, but either way, it's still a no ball, 1 strike count. As the 0-1 pitch from McNary on its way misses in the dirt for ball 1. Count evens up at 1-1 with ones on the board. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out here in the bottom of the ninth inning. Tied ball game at 4-4. The 1-1 pitch on its way is a little pop-up into left field. Colby Boulware making the run over and makes the catch for out number 2. Which brings Jackson O'Boyd to the plate. In his last plate appearance, he tripled and later scored the game's tying run. As Jackson O'Boyd will get subbed out here. We'll have who that is in a second. As Bradley Knitting is now staying in at the plate. He's 194 out of Richland Hills, Texas, and attends Rice University. Coming in for Jackson O'Boyd in the ninth inning with 2 outs. 0-1 offering from McNary on its way, misses for ball 1. The count evens up at 1-1. One ball, 1 strike, 2 outs. McNary ready on the mound. The 1-1 pitch popped up down the third baseline and will go in for a fan here at Mulcahy Stadium. A good crowd here tonight to witness a great ball game so far. Tied ball game at 4-4 here in this ninth inning, as a lot of seats are filled here at Mulcahy. As the 1-2 pitch on its way, lined in to right center field. That's going to drop for a base hit. So Knighting will stand in at first with a 2-out single. Something the Pilots have been able to do very well tonight is hit with 2 outs, as they were able to score in the first and third inning with 2 outs. We'll see what they can do here in the ninth. The man on first, bringing up to the plate, Malcolm Tipler. Tipler 0 for 3 on the night with a strikeout, a flyout, and another flyout in the 7th inning. Stands in, first pitch to him. In there for a called strike. 1 no balls, 1 strike, and 2 outs here in the bottom of the 9th inning. Knighting gets his lead off of first. McNary looks over to check him off as the 0-1 pitch is swung on and missed for strike 2. As McNary stands in trying to get himself and the Miners out of this inning. Game-winning run stands in at first. The 0-2 pitch on its way misses in the dirt for ball 1, and the count moves to 1 ball, 2 strikes, and 2 outs. Knighting gets his lead off of first. Malcolm Tipler stands in the left-handed batter's box. McNary with the 1-2. As that's popped up, running in is Kobe Bulwer and Caden Hogan. Caden Hogan able to run over and make the catch for out number 3. And that'll be your bottom half of the 9th inning. So free baseball here in Anchorage as we head to the 10th inning. Miners 4, Pilots 4. Free baseball here in Anchorage as the top of the lineup for the Miners. 1, 2, and 3 due up here in the 10th as Kobe Bulwer stands in to lead things off as he is 0 for 3 on the ball game. Was able to get a walk in the 6th and later scored in that one, and he's always a threat if the Miners can get him on. First pitch swinging, grounded over to first. Baeza fields it, tosses it over to first in time for out number 1. Anderson Needham still in the pitch for the Pilots here in the top of the 10th, able to get a big out number 1 and getting Kobe Bulwer out on 1 pitch. 3-1 if you're keeping score at home for the first out of this 10th inning. Brings up Eric Webb to the plate. Webb 1 for 3 on the day with a single in the first. He scored the game's first run and stands in here in the 10th inning. First pitch to him misses outside for ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes, and 1 out to the right-handed pitcher out of Central Missouri. Leads the ABL in average at .350. With the 1-0 pitch on its way, misses again outside in the same exact location, and the count moves to 2 balls, no strikes, and 1 out. $14 doubles on the season for Webb, as well as 29 RBIs. The 2-0 pitch to him on its way misses inside, as Webb works the count to 3 balls and no strikes. Webb was able to steal in the first inning, but was caught stealing in the 4th. The 3-0 pitch on its way is in there for a called strike 1 right down the middle. 3 balls, 1 strike, and 1 out here in the 10th inning. Tied 4-4 ball game, as the Pilots and Miners are grinding it out here in Mulcahy. 3-1 pitch grounded over to third. George Mendizano makes the play at third, throws over to first, and Baeza, great play to catch it off the bounce at first for the second out of the inning. Brings up Alpharetta, Georgia native Justin Kirby to the plate. The right-handed hitter out of Kent State University stands into the top of the 10th with 2 outs and nobody on. 1 for 3 on the night, was able to get a walk in the 8th inning and stands in here in the 10th. First pitch swinging as that ball is bouncing over to second. Tipler makes the play to throw to first in time for out number 3. Great play by Tipler to be able to field it and throw over in time to get Justin Kirby at first. So a quick 3 up, 3 down for the Miners in the 10th. As we head to the bottom of the 10th, we have a tied ball game at 4. And top of the lineup for the Pilots as well here in the 10th inning, as both teams starting off these extra innings with the top of their lineups, bringing their best to the plate, as Jacob McNary comes in for his second inning of work here in the 10th inning, as the first pitch to Dalen Clifton misses inside for ball 1. The 1-0 pitch on its way will miss outside for ball 2. 2-0 is the count to Clifton at the plate. He is 2 for 4 on the night with a single and a double, and scored in both of those situations as the 2-0 pitch is in there for a called strike 1. Garrett Spain stands in on deck with Matt Otino in the hole, as the 2-1 pitch swung on and missed, and the count evens up at 2-2. McNary able to work his way back from falling behind 2-0. As McNary with the 2-2 pitch on its way, swung on and missed. That's in the dirt. Robbie Brew will throw down to first in time for out number 3. For out number 1 and strike number 3. So Clifton down on strikes for the first out of this bottom half of the 10th inning, which will bring up Garrett Spain. Spain 0 for 3 on the day. Walked in the 5th. And stands in here in the 10th. First pitch to him is grounded right back to McNary. McNary fields it, throws to first in time for out number 2. So just like that top of the 10th inning, a very quick bottom half of the 10th inning to get the first 2 outs on the 1-3 ground out to get Garrett Spain out. Matt Otino now stands up at the plate. He doubled in the first inning, but other than that, hasn't been doing much with, and has been 1 for 3 on the day. He stands in here in the 10th. Extra innings at Mulcahy. Both of these teams are separated by 1.5 games for that crucial second place spot in the ABL that will give the team that is able to finish the season in second home field advantage for the first round of the playoffs. 0-1 pitch popped up down the first base line. Running over is Colin Montes. He runs as far as he can and makes the catch for out number 3. So good range by Montes out there and right to get the 3rd out of the inning. So 3 up, 3 down for the Pilots in the 10th inning. As the scoreboard resets for the 11th, we head to the top of the 11th. Miners 4, Pilots 4. I'm handing it over to Brandon Monty for some extra innings here as we head to the top of the 11th. Miners 4, Pilots 4.
Tanner Carlson digs in for the Miners in the top of the 11th inning. Miners and Pilots tied at 4 as the Miners and Pilots in extra innings here. Second inning of free baseball as the first pitch to Carlson is hit on the gap towards right center field, and this one is going to be caught by Garrett Spain, the right fielder, as he ran a long way into the right center field gap to track that one down for the first out of the inning. So Tanner Carlson set down on one pitch from Anderson Needham to start the 11th inning, as that will bring up Cody Huff. Huff stands in, righty on righty matchup between the Scottsdale, Arizona native and Baylor Bear Anderson Needham. First pitch, fastball in the dirt that gets to the backstop, 1-0. Cody Huff on the day, 1 for 2. With a single, 2 strikeouts, and a walk thus far. Needham back into his motion. 1-0 pitch on the way. Fastball again, missing low, just below the knees. 2-0. Fourth extra inning game of the season for the Miners, all of which have come in July. The Miners 2-1 in extra innings this year, as the pitch to Huff is in there for a called strike one. The count now 2-1 to the recent Horizon High School graduate. Huff stands back in. Nobody on. 1 out. 2-1 pitch is bounced over to short. Otino fields it cleanly. Throws over to first base in time for out number 2. Chalk it up as 6-3 on the ground out, as Huff bounces out to Otino for out number 2, and that brings up Tyler Porter. Porter, 2-run double as part of a 3-run inning earlier in this ballgame in the 6th for the Miners, stands back in. Score tied at 4. 4 runs, 6 hits, 1 error on the evening for Matsu thus far. First pitch, fastball misses low for ball 1. For the Pilots, this is also their 4th extra inning game in July. 5th on the season. The Pilots an even 2-2 in extras so far this year. 1-0 pitch, waved at and missed by Porter. Chased a fastball low and out of the zone for strike 1. Miners 5-0 this year when Porter drives in a run. He has 2 RBIs today. Needham comes set, 1-1 pitch. Fastball paints the outside corner for a called strike 2. Porter now with 8 RBIs on the year. Drove in 2 earlier in this game. Stands back into the left-handed batter's box. 1-2 pitch. Low and inside, and this one getting to the backstop. 2-2 now the count. Anderson Needham, second in the Alaska Baseball League in wins this year, 4-2 entering today's contest with a 6.63 earned run average. Goes into his over-the-head windup. 2-2 pitch on the way. Bouncing ball down the first base line. And they say it went foul. So the count will stay 2-2. Nobody on. 2 outs for the Miners here in the top of the 11th inning. They are tied with the Pilots 4-4. Needham toes the slab. 6'4", 195-pound righty from Heath, Texas by way of Baylor University. Making his 10th appearance on the year is the right-hander. Shakes off one sign from his catcher Mendez. Now he's got what he likes. 2-2. Breaking ball way outside. Counts now full 3-2. Needham gave up the walk-off grand slam to Eric Webb back on June 17th at Herman Brothers Field. Gave up a season-high 5 runs in that outing against the Miners. Payoff pitch waved at him, missed for strike 3, and the side is retired. Miners go 1-2-3 in the top of the 11th. Pilots will have another shot to win this one in the bottom half. With the score, Miners and Pilots tied at 4. We go to the bottom of the 11th inning. Zach Morgan leading things off for the Pilots in the bottom of the 11th inning. Miners and Anchorage Glacier Pilots tied at 4 in extra innings. Brandon Monty with you alongside Nick Veland. We thank you for staying up and continuing to tune in to Matsu Miners Baseball. As they are looking for road victory number 11 on the year. Jacob McNary back out on the mound. First pitch to Morgan. Popped foul over the press box, out of play. That foul ball brought to you by Napa Auto Parts. With locations in Big Lake, Palmer, and Wasilla, you're always covered. If a foul ball does damage to your car, visit www.napaalaska.com for more information. From the windup, 0-1 pitch. Fastball in there on the outside corner. Morgan didn't like that call, but regardless, it's 0-2. McNary in his 15th appearance on the year for the Miners. This has been his longest outing in 2019. Now in his 3rd inning of relief. 0-2 pitch. High and inside. Check swing by Morgan. They appeal to first, and the first base umpire says he did not go around. Count now 1-2. McNary, no decisions on the year, 1.69 ERA in 16 innings of work. As the 1-2 pitch is bounced over to third, charging his Huff. He throws over to first in time for out number 1. Chalk it up as 5-3 on the ground out if you're keeping score at home. And McNary sets down the first Pilot he faces here in the 11th, as that brings up E.J. Andrews. Andrews on the evening, 2 for 4. Singled in his first 2 at-bats, but has struck out in his last 2. McNary again working from the windup. First pitch. Fastball just misses low for ball 1. McNary, 7 saves on the year. That's good for 2nd in the ABL. 1-0 pitch. Fastball misses low and outside and gets away from Robbie Brew to the backstop. 2-0. All 3 runs that Jacob McNary has allowed this year have come against the Chinooks. As the 2-0 pitch, a little dribbler back to the mound, corralled by McNary, takes his time, throws over to first in time for out number 2. 1-3 on the ground out. 2 ground outs for the Pilots to start the bottom of the 11th, as McNary working quickly and efficiently here in extras, as that'll bring up number 15, the 6th hitting first baseman Alex Beza. Beza, a Big West honorable mention at first base this past year for Hawaii, as the first pitch to him, a fastball that paints the outside corner. Good locating by McNary. The count now 0-1. The right-hander working quickly. 0-1 pitch. Another fastball. This one missing too far outside. Count evens at 1. Opponents hitting 179 on the year against McNary, as the 1-1 pitch is fouled off the screen. As the count is now 1-2, McNary 1 strike away from working a 1-2-3 inning here in the bottom of the 11th. Beza digs back in. He's 0 for 4. McNary gets the sign from Brew. 1-2 pitch. Fastball low and inside. Count evens at 2. 2's across the board. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Nobody on base in the bottom of the 11th. In a tie ball game at 4. Pilots in their 5th extra inning game of the year. The Miners their 4th. 2-2 pitch. Fastball inside, counts full, 3-2. McNary gives the nod to Brew. Payoff pitch is lined foul over the Miners' dugout on the third base side, out of play, so we'll do it again, 3-2. Most of the crowd here at Mulcahy has stuck around for this extra inning thriller. They've been treated to an evenly matched contest here this evening. 3-2 once again. A breaking ball at the knees, called strike 3, and the side is retired. Pilots go 1-2-3 in the bottom of the 11th, as Jacob McNary works his 3rd consecutive inning of scoreless ball. We head to the top of the 12th. Miners and Pilots still tied at 4. Seven, 8, 9 coming up for the Miners in the top of the 12th inning. Robbie Brew, the catcher for Matsu, will lead things off. Brandon Monty with you alongside Nick Veland, broadcasting you Matsu Miners baseball on YouTube Live. Tie game at 4 entering the 12th. First pitch to Brew, a bouncing ball toward third. Up with it is Mendozona, throws over to first base in time for out number 1. 1 pitch, 1 out for the Miners in the top of the 12th on the 5-3 ground out. Brew is set down, and that brings up the 8-hitter, right fielder Colin Montez. Montez 0 for 4 on the evening. He's flown out 3 times and popped out to short. He stands into the left-handed batter's box, gripping the bat with his red and white Washington State batting gloves. First pitch to him. Fastball upstairs for ball one. Montez, a Marysville, Washington native by way of Washington State. 9 runs, 4 RBIs, 3 doubles so far on the season. 1-0 pitch to him is hit in the air. High in the air out to right center field. Garrett Spain drifting to his right, settles underneath it, makes the catch as one right fielder flies out to the other, as that's the second out of the inning. First 2 men of the inning set down quickly for the Miners. One on a ground out, the other on a fly out, as that'll bring up the number 9 hitter, shortstop Caden Hogan. Hogan, a 143 hitter entering today's ball game, stands in 0 for 4 with a flyout, a ground out, and 2 strikeouts. First pitch, fastball in the dirt, and gets away from the catcher Mendez to the backstop, 1-0. Anderson Needham back out on the hill for the Pilots in the 12th. Goes into the windup, 1-0 pitch. Waved at and missed by Hogan. Came up empty on the fastball. It's 1-1. After today, the Miners will have the day off tomorrow. And they'll be back at it on Friday with a doubleheader against these Pilots at Herman Brothers Field. 1-1 pitch to Hogan. Fouled off. Just got a piece of that one over the Pilots dugout on the first base side out of play. It's 1-2. Miners with just 7 games left in the regular season, including tonight. After that, the postseason. 1-2 pitch. Breaking ball. Needham thought he had a called strike 3 as he walked about 5 steps off the mound towards his dugout, but the home plate umpire says it just missed off the inside corner. 2-2. Tough pitch to lay off with 2 strikes with Hogan. But he did. Good eye by the shortstop. Count evens at 2. 2-2 pitch. Waved at and missed for strike 3. Miners go 1-2-3 in the top of the 12th. No runs, no hits, no errors. Nobody left on base. Pilots will have another chance to win it in the bottom of the 12th with the score. The Miners 4, the Pilots 4. George Mendozona will lead things off for the Pilots in the bottom of the 12th. Jacob McNary back on the mound for the Miners. First pitch to Mendozona, a change up in there for a called strike 1 at the letters. First at bat of the night for Mendozona, who is at third. The 0-1 pitch to him, fastball low and inside for ball 1. McNary's longest outing of the year thus far for the Miners. He's now in his 4th inning of relief. The Alabama Crimson Tide player deals 1-1. Fastball misses low in the dirt. Ball 2, 2-1. McNary comes set from the windup. 2-1 pitch on the way. Breaking ball fouled straight back off the screen, and the count now even 2-2. That foul ball brought to you by Napa Auto Parts. With locations in Big Lake, Palmer, and Wasilla, you're always covered if a foul ball does damage to your car. 2-2 pitch on the way. Fastball just misses high and outside. The counts run full 3-2. McNary has not walked a batter in any of his last 12 outings. He has just one on the season. 3-2 pitch is hit in the air out to center field. Eric Webb is retreating, is underneath it, and makes the catch for out number 1. Mendozona is retired for the first out of the inning. McNary continues to work strong in extras, as that will bring up number 7 for the Pilots, Daniel Mendez. Like Mendozona, Mendez did not get the start tonight. Mendez came into the ball game as a defensive substitution at catcher for Jackson O'Boy. First at bat of the evening for Mendez. Digs into the right-handed batter's box. First pitch, breaking ball, a check swing, foul ball over the Pilots' dugout on the first base side. It's 0-1. Action in the Miners bullpen in the left field corner. It's a right-hander getting loose. It appears to be number 27, Jack White. And for the time being, McNary working strong. The 0-1 pitch on the way. Fastball right down the middle for a called strike 2. Mendez, a .283 hitter. Currently working on a modest 3-game hit streak. 3 RBIs during his last 3 games. 0-2 pitch. Fastball just misses off the outside corner. McNary thought he had strike 3. Instead, it's 1-2. Close pitch there. Tough to lay off for Mendez, but he did. 1-2 pitch on the way. Swung on and missed for strike 3. Got him with the breaking ball. McNary picks up another strikeout as he set down the first 2 men here in the bottom of the 12th, and that'll bring up Malcolm Tipler. And now manager Tyler LeBrun has emerged from the third base dugout. As he heads out to the mound, we'll see what the Miners decide to do here with Jack White warming up in the left field corner. Brew, the catcher, McNary, along with LeBrun, have gathered on the mound. As LeBrun and McNary having a conversation. Normally when the manager comes out, that indicates a pitching change. We'll see what the Miners decide to do. I think LeBrun asking McNary if he can go any longer, if he's good to go, and apparently he is. No pitching change here for the Miners. Again, this is McNary's longest outing of the season. He has now worked 3 2/3 innings and is 1 out away from making it 4 here as he looks to set down the Pilots 1-2-3. Malcolm Tipler digs in. First pitch. Breaking ball just misses low. It's 1-0. This could be McNary's last inning of work here if he sets down Tipler. The 1-0 pitch on the way. Fastball misses low and inside. It's 2-0. Tipler standing in. The 9th inning second baseman for the Pilots. Awaits the 2-0. Waved at and missed. Chased a breaking ball out of the zone. It's 2-1. Tipler, a left-handed hitter with an open stance, putting most of his weight on the backside of his body, stands in. 2-1 pitch on the way. Fastball misses low. Hitters count 3-1. Tipler third in the ABL in stolen bases, 11 for 14 on the year, as a 3-1 pitch, a fastball that misses high and outside for ball 4. Tipler draws the walk. Tyler LeBrun again emerging from the third base dugout, as this could be it for McNary, as LeBrun gives a couple of glances to his bullpen, and a right-hander is coming in. McNary's evening is over, but he pitched a beauty out of the pen. 3 2/3 innings, no runs at the moment. He is responsible for the runner at first, as several Miners emerging from the third base dugout to give McNary a well-deserved praise here as his teammates crowd him in front of the dugout. New pitcher for the Miners coming in. We'll tell you who he is when we return from this short break. Top of the order for the Pilots coming up. They have a runner at first with 2 down. New pitcher for the Miners. It'll be number 27, Jack White. White 0-2 on the year, 6.48 earned run average in 16 and 2/3 innings of work. The 12th appearance on the year for the righty. Dalen Clifton stands in. White throws over to first. Tipler is back standing. Clifton 2 for 5 on the night. A double in the third, a single in the fifth. Tipler again gets his lead. White comes set at the letters of his jersey and now throws over to first again. Nearly got away from Tanner Carlson, but made a nice leaping snag there to save an errant throw. Jack White leans in to get the sign from Robbie Brew. He's got the pitch he wants. First pitch to Clifton, waved at him for strike one. The runner at first base would go to Jacob McNary. That is the winning run. 0-1 count, 2 down, bottom of the 12th, game tied at 4. And White throws over to first for the 3rd time, and Tipler is back safely. Good idea by White to throw over. Tipler 11 for 14 on the year in stolen bases. We'll see if he's running here. 0-1. Waved at and missed again by Clifton for strike 2.
Great 2 first pitches right out the pen. Getting him to swing, really getting Clifton on his toes here with an 0-2 count. You're up in the count, so try to get him something to chase here, and don't force anything that you don't have to. Already ahead in the count, 0-2.
0-2 pitch. Waved at and missed for a 3-pitch strikeout. Good morning, good afternoon, and good night, says Jack White. Comes in out of the bullpen and throws 3 pitches, 3 fastballs, and 3 strikes. Terrific pitching by the Albuquerque, New Mexico native, and that retires the side. We've got more baseball for you at Mulcahy Stadium. The longest game of the year for the Miners as we enter the 13th inning, still tied at 4.
the 13th. Kobe Boer to get things going here in the top of the 13th inning here at Mulcahy Stadium. As the top of the lineup for the Miners are due up. Kobe Boer, Eric Webb, and Justin Kirby to get things going here in the top of the 13th inning. As we are deadlocked, tied at 4. First offering to Boulware on its way, misses inside for ball 1. And Anderson Needham coming in for his 4th inning of work, just like Jacob McNary did in the 12th. As the first pitch misses for ball 1, second one in there for a called strike 1, excuse me. Needham gets set and ready on the mound. 1-1 pitch on its way, misses inside for ball 2. 2-1 is your count to Kobe Bower at the plate. Anderson Needham gets set and ready. The 2-1 pitch as that bounces off the plate for ball 3, and Bower works the count to a 3-1 hitters count at the plate. 3 balls, 1 strike, no outs, nobody on here in the top of the 13th inning. As the 3-1 pitch on its way, grounded right back to the pitcher Needham. Needham fumbles the ball a little bit, throw to first, will be in time for out number 1. As a close play at first base, beats Boulware by a step. A big first out of that inning. Always big to get Boulware out, especially when he's the leadoff man. One out now to Eric Webb standing at the plate. The first pitch to him misses outside for ball 1, and Webb gets ahead early with 1 ball, no strikes. 13th inning of play here tonight at Mulcahy Stadium. As Anderson Needham ready with the 1-0 pitch, swung on and missed for strike 1. 1's on the board here in Anchorage. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. As Webb gets set and ready in the right-handed batter's box. Needham gets ready on the mound, the 1-1 pitch. As that misses outside for ball 2. The dark skies turned relatively clear for the sunset here in Anchorage tonight. Sunset around 11:03 p.m. as the field have the lights going, but there's still a lot of brightness out in the air. 3 balls, 1 strike, and 1 out to Eric Webb at the plate. Needham gets his sign ready with the 3-1. As that's grounded over to shortstop, Matt Otino. Otino fields it, fires to first. Not in time as Webb is able to beat it for an infield single. The first single for the Miners in this extra innings. Eric Webb now stands in at first. Already has 1 stolen base on the night. He was also caught stealing in the 4th. He has 11 stolen bases on the season. And he stands in here as the game leading run in the 13th inning. First base runner for the Miners since the 8th inning. As Webb gets his lead off of first, gets his lead, won't go as the first pitch to Kirby misses for ball 1. And the scoreboard says 2 outs, and I believe there's only 1 out. There is. Yep, just have to double check on that one. So only 1 out now with Eric Webb standing in at first. Justin Kirby at the plate with Tanner Carlson standing on deck. Miners going through their 6th time through their lineup as the head coach for the Glacier Pilots coming out to have a word with his pitcher.
And looks like there'll be a pitching change. Manager Jeff Pritchard points to his bullpen in the right field corner. Anderson Needham's night is done, but he did a phenomenal job out of the pen for the Pilots, as we'll see who's coming in for them.
Yep, we'll have all that information on the incoming pitcher here in the top of the 13th inning. Eric Webb stands in at first with one out. Justin Kirby at the plate. We'll be right back. Kirby stands in with a 1-0 count with the new pitcher for the Anchorage Glacier Pilots. Hunter Rigsby will toe the mound in his 11th appearance on the season for the Pilots. 23 2/3 of an inning pitched with 27 strikeouts and a .76 ERA for the Glacier Pilots. Has been one of the go-to guys for Pilots in tight situations, as the first pitch from Rigsby is in there for a swing. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out with Hunter Rigsby on the mound for the Pilots. Eric Webb gets his lead off of first, and Rigsby will fire back to keep Webb as close as possible. Webb 11 stolen bases on the season. 1 stolen base already tonight. Justin Kirby stands in at the plate. 1 for 4 on the evening. He singled in the 6th. That's his only hit of the night, as the 1-1 pitch is in there for a called strike 2. Kirby reaching twice in this ball game, was able to reach on a walk in the 8th. And he stands in here in the 13th inning in a tied 4-4 ball game. Eric Webb gets his lead off of first. Hunter Rigsby gets set and ready on the mound. Rigsby looks in, the 1-2 pitch, and that's in there for a called strike 3. So got Kirby looking for out number 2, which will bring up Tanner Carlson up to the plate. Webb standing in at first. Carlson, the 206 hitter out of Long Beach State University, stands in the right-handed batter's box 2 outs in the top of the 13th. Hunter Rigsby trying to work the Pilots out of a situation with a runner on. Rigsby looks in, will step off the mound and glance over to first, will not throw over. Just looks to recollect himself and will re-toe the mound to get ready for the first pitch to Tanner Carlson. Carlson 1 for 5 on the night with 2 strikeouts and a single. He stands in, hoping to get a run across here in the 13th inning. First pitch to him misses outside for ball 1. Eric Webb stands over at first in the longest game so far for the Matsu Miners on the season. Carlson gets set and ready in the right-handed batter's box. Rigsby gets ready on the mound. He gets his sign, agrees, and looks over to Webb at first. The 1-0 pitch on its way misses outside for ball 2, and Carlson able to work his way to a 2-0 count. Crowd still intact here at Mulcahy Stadium as fans underneath us, and they'll line the first and third base lines with a great crowd on tap here tonight to watch some Pilot baseball. And a tied 4-4 game in extra innings now in the 13th inning. Eric Webb gets his lead off of first. Rigsby shakes off the first 2 signs given to him. And he's ready with the 2-0 pitch, and that will miss for ball 3. Cody Huff stands in on deck with Tanner Carlson in with 3 balls and no strikes, 2 outs with a man on first. Hunter Rigsby stands in on the mound. Came in for Anderson Needham. The 3-0 pitch is in there for a called strike 1. And Carlson stands in now with the hitter's count at 3-1. 3 balls, 1 strike to Tanner Carlson at the plate. Eric Webb gets a 2-3 strides off of the first base bag. The 3-1 pitch on its way, swung on and missed for strike 2. Rigsby able to work the count full after falling behind to Carlson. 3 balls and no strikes.
Webby will be moving on the pitch here. 3-2, 2 outs.
Carlson steps into the batter's box. A big pitch here for Hunter Rigsby. Eric Webb gets his lead off of first, running on the pitch. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs here in the top of the 13th inning. Tied ball game at 4. The payoff pitch on its way, fouled straight back, and the count will remain full, and Eric Webb will backpedal his way to first base. 4 runs on 7 hits and 1 error for the Miners. 4 runs and 9 hits and 1 error for the Glacier Pilots. Miners hold a 1.5 game lead over the Pilots in the standings, with the Miners having 7 games left on their schedule slate. It'll be a tight race to the finish to see who will host the first round of the playoffs, as the 3-2 pitch on its way fouled out of play, and the count will remain 3-2. That foul ball is brought to you by Napa Auto Parts, with locations in Big Lake, Palmer, and Wasilla. The Valley's locally owned and operated Napa Auto Parts will help you in any sort of situation if a foul ball does damage to your car, or if your car needs any sort of nut, bolt, or screw. The Valley's locally owned and operated Napa Auto Parts will have you covered. As Rigsby toes the mound here in the 13th inning. Gets set and ready in this battle with Tanner Carlson at the plate. The payoff pitch on its way, swung on and missed for strike 3. And that'll be their top half of the 13th inning, as the Miners able to get one on one hit with no errors and no runs scored. We head to the bottom of the 13th inning. Miners 4, Pilots 4. 2, 3, 4 hitters due up here in the bottom half of the 13th inning. Garrett Spain to lead things off. Matt Otino on deck, and Zach Morgan, the designated hitter for the Pilots tonight, is standing in the hole. As we have not had a run score in this ballgame since the 7th inning. And that came off of a leadoff triple by Bradley Knitting as the first pitch to Garrett Spain is swung on and missed for strike one. No balls, one strike, and no outs here in the bottom half of the 13th inning as we are underway with Jack White for the Miners on the mound as Spain looks to bunt. We'll pull it back as the appeal down to the third base umpire to see if he held it out for too long. And the third base umpire says he did not, so the count will leave it up at 1-1. As Spain sets back in, looked to bunt that first time, and will swing and miss here and then move the count to 1 ball and 2 strikes. So Spain now down the count 1-2. No outs. As the time just reaching 10:40 Alaskan Standard Time. We thank you for continuing to watch on this long ball game. Wherever you are, we appreciate your Matsu Miners support as the 1-2 pitch is fouled straight back, and the count will remain 1-2. As that foul ball is brought to you by the Alaska Club. The Matsu Miners start every day off with a workout down at the Palmer Alaska Club. So visit there anytime as the 1-2 pitch is grounded over to Cody Huff at third. The throw to first. It will be in time for out number 1. Good job there by Tanner Huff to field that throw by Cody Huff as he was able to keep 1 foot on the bag on the throw offline for the first out of this bottom half of the 13th inning. Matt Otino now comes in to hit. He's 1 for 4 on the night. He started off the game with a double and later scored the tying run in the bottom half of the first inning as the first pitch to him misses way outside for ball 1. After that, he has been held hitless for the rest of the night, but did reach in the 8th inning on a walk. As White gets ready with the 1-0 pitch. Fastball in there for a called strike 1. And there's ones on the board. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out to Matt Otino at the plate. Tied ball game at 4-4. As Jack White gets ready with the 1-1 pitch. Swung on and missed for strike 2. Making Otino look silly up there at the plate. As White gets ready on the mound, the 1-2 pitch on its way misses inside for ball 2. The game started out with Nolan Monahan on the mound. He pitched a solid 5 innings of work and then handed over to Grant Sloan. Sloan pitched 2 innings up until the 8th inning and handed it over to Evan Floyd. Floyd pitched a perfect 8th inning and handed it over to Jacob McNary, where McNary went from the 9th to the 12th, bringing in Jack White to end that inning. Last inning, he'll come back out here to pitch here in the bottom half of the 13th. Has run the count full to Matt Otino. Jack White ready with the payoff pitch as that's fouled straight back and out of play, and the count will remain full. Matt Otino gets ready in the right-handed batter's box. Jack White ready on the mound. Shakes the first sign off, ready with the payoff pitch now. Popped up on the infield. Tanner Carlson moving over into foul territory, but he'll make the catch for out number 2. So 2 up, 2 down for the Glacier Pilots. Will bring up Zach Morgan to the plate. He's 2 for 5 on the night with 2 singles in the first and third inning, and then after that has been held hitless. Combined 16 hits between both teams so far on the night as Zach Morgan gets set and ready. Jack White ready with the first pitch, fouled straight back, and Morgan's upset that he didn't get a hold of that one as he came away looking frustrated on that. He fouled it straight back. No balls, 1 strike, 2 outs to Morgan at the plate. Jack White gets ready at the belt on the mound. The 0-1 pitch on its way, fouled straight back, and the count moves in White's favor at no balls and 2 strikes. As the right-handed pitcher out of New Mexico State looks to move this game into the 14th inning. Ahead in the count now to Zach Morgan, no balls and 2 strikes. White ready with the 0-2. That'll miss outside in the dirt for ball 1. One ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. And a tied ball game at 4. Designated hitter Zach Morgan stands in at the plate. The 1-2 pitch on its way to him, fouled straight back, and the count will remain 1-2. As Morgan really fighting off till he gets something that he likes. White on the mound has some wiggle room here. Ahead 1-2. As Morgan batting .283 for the Pilots on the season. Stands in ready, the 1-2 pitch is fouled straight back, and the count will remain 1-2. Jack White tried to work the off speed inside on Morgan on that one, almost got him, but Morgan able to get a part of the bat on the ball, and the count will remain 1-2. White gets set and ready on the mound with the 1-2 pitch on its way, and that miss outside for ball 2. 2 is on the board here in the bottom of the 13th inning. 2 balls, 2 strikes, and 2 outs to Zach Morgan at the plate. Morgan singled in the first, singled in the third, and then ever since then, he's grounded out 3 times as the 2-2 pitch misses low for ball 3, and has worked the count full. So a good battle here by Zach Morgan, fouling off a couple of pitches at 1-2, worked his way to 2 straight balls, and has worked the count full. Jack White ready with the payoff pitch, as that's lined into left center field. It's going to drop. Running over is Eric Webb. He'll field it, and Morgan's looking for 2. The throw to second not in time, and Morgan is standing at second with a double. 2-out double to get things going for the Pilots. The farthest a player has gone in this extra innings. Morgan stands in at second. A good battle between him and Jack White, which will bring up E.J. Andrews to the plate. Andrews, similar to Morgan, started off the day 2 for 2 with 2 singles. Ever since then, has been held hitless. Has 2 strikeouts on the night, 2 singles, and a ground out, as it appears that they will be intentionally walking Andrews to move to Baeza at the plate. A good call for the Miners here, as Andrews 2 for 5 on the night, and Baeza's 0 for 5. So, White and Robbie Brew playing some catch outside the strike zone, as they will be intentionally walking E.J. Andrews. Zach Morgan stands in at second on the 2-out double. E.J. Andrews now takes his walk to first. Runners at first and second, 2 outs, with Alex Baeza coming up to the plate.
And this also sets up a force play at any base for the Miners as well. A ground ball to third. Huff can step on the bag. As now we see pitching coach Jeff Erlab emerge from the Miners dugout. Infield gathers in, and we'll see what the game plan is for the Miners. Nobody getting loose in the pen. And again, a limited number of arms for the Miners right now due to the amount of injuries that are going on across the entire roster. So they're going to stick with White here in this 13th inning and beyond if we get past this bottom half.
Runners in scoring position for the first time in this extra innings of play. Both teams went 9 up, 9 down until the 12th inning, where the Glacier Pilots were able to get a man on. Alex Baeza now stands in at the plate. 0 for 5 on the night. 2 strikeouts, 2 flyouts, and a ground out, as Jack White looks to work his way out of this 13th inning and give the Miners another chance in the top of the 14th. as this game has been going on for over 3.5 hours now. Baeza stands in at the plate. Morgan gets his lead off a second, Andrews off a first. Only run that matters is the run on second, as Robbie Brew able to block the first pitch to Alex Baeza, as that one's in the dirt, bounces off a foot in front of home plate, but Brew able to keep it in front of him.
What a block by Robbie Brew, too, using the chest. Brew always does a fantastic job of using his body to block baseballs, and you see it again there. Tyler LeBrun consistently praising his efforts behind the plate defensively. Terrific stop by Brew to save the base runners from advancing on a wild pitch.
1 ball, no strikes, 2 outs to Baeza at the plate. White looks in, ready, the 1-0 pitch. Swung on and missed for strike 1. The count evens up at 1-1. As in Baeza's last plate appearance was struck out swinging. White looks in, trying to get himself out of this one. White looks over at second, checks the runner. The 1-1 pitch is popped up down the third base line, but that would go out of play, and the count will remain 1-2. So White now ahead in the count, 1-2, after giving up a 2-out double to Zach Morgan and then intentionally walking E.J. Andrews. Runners stand at first and second, 2 outs, with a 1-2 count to Alex Baeza at the plate. White looks in. The 1-2 pitch on its way is popped up down to right field. Running back is Colin Montes. He'll go back, and make the catch for out number 3, and we're headed to the top of the 14th here in Anchorage, as the Pilots will leave 2 runners on 1 hit. No errors and no runs scored. We head to the top of the 14th inning, and we're tied at 4. Cody Huff to get things started here in the top of the 14th inning, as the 5, 6, and 7 hitters for the Miners due up here in this inning. As so far, 2 hits so far in this extra innings. 1 hit for the Miners, 1 hit for the Pilots, as Hunter Rigsby kicks and deals the first pitch of the 14th inning. That's in there for a called strike 1.
And thankfully there are lights at this field. Starting to get a little late out as the sun sets. No lights at Erman Brothers, but there are at Mulcahy. Thank goodness for this 14-inning game.
As the 0-1 pitch, home plate umpire says he went around and is in there for strike 2. No balls, 2 strikes, and no outs. As already on the day, it started off darker than usual due to the rain and the cloud coverage, as the lights kicked on around 9 p.m. here, as the 0-2 pitch from Rigsby swung on and missed for strike 3. Huff down on strikes brings up Tyler Porter. Tyler Porter 2 for 5 on the evening, singled in the 5th and doubled in the 6th. He had the big 2 RBI double to give the Miners the lead in the 6th inning. The Pilots, though, were able to tie it up in the 7th inning. We stand in the 14th now, as the first pitch to him misses for ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes, and 1 out. Hunter Rigsby toes the mound. 1 ball, no strikes to Tyler Porter at the plate. The 1-0 pitch on its way will miss for ball 2. So after striking out Cody Huff on 3 straight pitches, Tyler Porter able to work his way to a 2-0 count. Alaskan time right now, 10:56 here in Anchorage, as the official game start time was at 7:14. So the 2-0 pitch on its way bounces off the plate for ball 3, and Tyler Porter ahead in the count now, 3-0.
And any base runner is important here in extra innings for the Miners, especially with a pitcher as good as Rigsby on the hill for the Pilots. A walk is just as good as a hit.
And on deck right now is number 20, Matt Palmer, so he'll be subbing in for Robbie Brew in this situation, as the 3-0 pitch is in there for a called strike 1. 3 balls, 1 strike, and 1 out here in the 14th inning.
I would imagine that would mean Sam Thompson would come into the ball game in the bottom half of this inning at catcher. So we'll see what the Miners decide to do here. 3-1 count to Porter.
As the 3-1 pitch on its way, fouled straight back, and the count will go full to Tyler Porter at the plate. More strategy goes in the later the game goes, as Tyler LeBron's starting to make some substitutions to get some fresh players out here in the 14th inning. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out to Porter at the plate. Hunter Rigsby gets his sign, kicks and deals the payoff pitch. That will miss inside, and Tyler Porter will take first. So Miners get a runner on first, bringing up Matt Palmer to the plate. He'll come in for Robbie Brew. Brew will end the night 0 for 4, as Matt Palmer, the Palmer Alaskan native, will stand in here in the 14th inning. Matt Palmer stands in the right-handed batter's box. Runner on first for the Miners. No runs scored so far in this extra innings. As Rigsby gets set and ready on the mound, the first pitch way inside, making Palmer have to flinch out of the way there, as Palmer gets ahead early, 1-0.
And Rigsby with a slide step delivery out of the stretch, as he looks to avoid having Porter steal. Porter 1 stolen base on the year, standing at first with 1 out. Matt Palmer at the dish. We'll see what the Miners can do.
1 ball, no strikes, 1 out. The 1-0 pitch on its way is fouled right to the Miners' dugout down the third base line, and the count will even up at 1-1. Troy Melton started off this ball game for the Pilots. He ended off to Cody Kerfman in the 6th, and then Anderson Needham in the 9th. Needham took it all the way to the 12th inning until Hunter Rigsby was subbed in the 13th inning with 1 out. That's where we stand right now, pitching-wise for both teams, as the 1-1 pitch on its way misses inside, and the count moves to 2 balls and 1 strike. Here in the 14th inning for the Matsu Miners versus the Glacier Pilots. These teams pretty even on the season, 1.5 games separating them standing-wise, as the Miners hold a 1.5 game lead over the Pilots. 2-1 pitch, fouled down the first base line, out of play, and the count leaving up at 2-2. Matt Palmer stands in at the plate, subbing in for Robbie Brew. as Matt Palmer gets ready in the right-handed batter's box. A 4-4, 14-inning ball game so far. Rigsby agrees with the first sign given to him. Tyler Porter gets his lead off of first. The 2-2 pitch on its way misses upstairs with the off-speed pitch, and the count will go full to Matt Palmer. Big pitch here by Rigsby. A ball will put runners up first and second. A strike will put 2 outs with 1 runner on. As well as Matt Palmer can do anything with his bat in this situation. Full count, 1 out here in the top of the 14th. Rigsby looks in to get his sign. Matt Palmer ready at the plate. Tyler Porter gets his lead off of first. Hunter Rigsby with the payoff pitch. Swung on and missed by Matt Palmer. For strike 3 and out number 2. Colin Montez will now get a chance to get something going for the Miners with a man on first. Montez 0 for 5 in the ballgame, where he flew out to the outfield 4 times on this ballgame and popped up to deep short in the 5th inning. Getting darker and darker by the minute here at Mulcahy Stadium. As the first pitch to Montez misses, hits the inside part of the plate for strike 1, and the count moves to no balls and 1 strike as the catcher, Mendez, looked to snap fire down to first, but held back at the last second. Rigsby ahead in the count 0-1 with 2 outs as the 0-1 pitch on its way in there for a called strike 2. Miners getting a base runner here in their 2nd inning in a row here in extra innings. Before that, they were held hitless. As we reach the 14th inning, the 0-2 pitch on its way popped up to left field. E.J. Andrews barely unable to make the play as E.J. Andrews as Tyler Porter comes into third, and he'll be out.
And on that play, Andrews couldn't see the fly ball in left field. It dropped right in front of him, but then the throw to third base, apparently in time to get Porter. I never saw the third baseman apply the tag, and now Tyler LeBrun is out of the dugout having words with one of the umpires. A strange play all around.
Yeah, Tyler Porter beat the throw to third, it appeared to me.
I never saw a tag by the third baseman.
I didn't neither, but also the light situation too here at Mulcahy, as E.J. Andrews was unable to make that catch in left field. It dropped right in front of him. It appeared that he was right under it and was going to make the catch for out number 3, but it drops right in front of him. Tyler Porter,
what a sequence,
not moving or not slowing down, rounding second, heads to third, beat the throw, but a tag was applied. It was a close play at third, and the third base umpire called him out for the 3rd out of the inning. So we're heading to the bottom of the 14th. A weird sequence to end the 14th inning, or to end the top of the 14th inning. We head to the bottom of the 14th inning, and we're tied still at 4. So a weird end of the top of the 14th brings on the bottom half of the 14th inning. Jack White in the pitch for the Miners with George Mendozona standing at the plate to lead things off for the Glacier Pilots. First pitch on its way in there for a called strike 1. And the lights here at Mulcahy Stadium reached the outfield, but only around half of it. anything behind where the outfielders are standing right now are in the dark, as the 0-1 pitch will miss for ball one. 1-1 is the count. So any deep fly balls here in any situation, the outfielders will be fighting to see that ball, as the 1-1 pitch is lined down the third baseline out of play for strike two.
And for a lot of these players, they haven't played nighttime in a couple of months. This is the darkest I think we've played since the Midnight Sun game here at Mulcahy against the Pilots. So we'll see how the darkness here in late July affects the outfield.
1-2 pitch misses in the dirt for ball two. And even in that Midnight Sun game, I felt it was a little lighter outside.
Right, as the summer goes on, obviously it gets darker and darker. I guess that's why they call it the Midnight Sun game. It's still, we noticed E.J. Andrews just completely losing track of the ball.
As the 2-2 pitch is popped into right field, and that ball will bounce in fair territory. Colin Montez thought initially it was foul, but E.J. Andrews will move into third.
I don't think Montez didn't see the ball.
Yeah,
the ball was hit by Mendozona deep to the right field corner. Montez didn't see the ball take up off the bat, and it lands in fair territory, and Mendozona goes into third base with a triple. And again, because of the darkness, we're seeing how it's affecting the players here. And right on cue, as we say that fly ball to right field, the outfielders, I don't think they have a very good view out there.
No.
Judging by these past two half innings.
It's looking like that they're struggling to see any pitches being thrown as well, as Montez either thought it was all the way foul, as the intentional walk pitch will get away from Sam Thompson behind the plate, and the Pilots will walk it off here in the bottom half of the 14th inning, winning this ball game 5-4. So a weird all-around 14th inning, as the Pilots will win on a walk-off pass ball and an intentional walk, as the conditions here at Mulcahy got insanely dark here in the 14th inning, and the Pilots will win this one 5-4 here in the 14th inning. So a thriller of a ball game to win this one for the Pilots 5-4. We'll be back in action on Friday for a doubleheader against the Pilots, starting at 4 o'clock here on YouTube Live. We thank you for joining us here at Mulcahy Stadium for a extra inning thriller, as the Miners lose this one 5-4. We hope to see you guys join us on Friday for the doubleheader. For Nick Veland, this has been Nick Veland. For Brandon Monty, this has been Nick Veland, as the Miners lose 5-4 in a late night game, and we hope to see you guys Friday. Thank you for joining us.